of a session with Mike, just a session where I just charge us on how we can leverage on our skills to become better, you know. And we started this last week, and I think the response has been good, and I think it's going to help us going forward. And that's why I'm here again today. Yeah, my name is Michael, and I'm a business intelligence engineer. I'm a data engineer, and I consult for businesses. Let me also say that if you've not subscribed to my channel, this is a good time to do that. It's going to really help you. I'm going to be dropping a lot of useful insight. All right, let's get right into it. Now, today I want to discuss just one thing you need to do to change your tech career. I've seen over the years, all right, that especially in this age, 2025 and beyond, that you don't really need to stress yourself that much again, because the technology that we have has already in a way helped us that so that we can leverage on it and become better at what we currently do. And why am I saying this? Now, when I started my career back in 2017, 2016, where I started, there is a need for you to learn every detail. So when I say learn every detail, you need to learn every bit of it. Well, if you are into data analytics, for example, you need to learn it to detail. You need to learn the tool. You need to learn the skill. You need to learn, for example, if you are learning pivot table, you need to learn how to do pivot table with examples, and everything, right? But one advantage we have in this era is we have the AI advantage, which is a very big advantage. And that is why I want to talk about this particular topic. So, what am I talking about today? I'm talking about one thing that can change your tech career. And if you ask me, that one thing, that only one thing is fundamentals. Now, people underrate the essence and the efficacy of learning fundamentals, right? But that is all you need in this age, sincerely. Because the good thing is, even people now run codes. There was a guy I saw, I think on Twitter, that said, okay, someone posted it on the status. He said, I built my Dicta product is an application. He built it end to end using AI, and he was, happy that yes, I've built something. Then I think over after an hour or two, he then came back and said, yeah, people have started, infiltrating the app. They've started doing all sort of um, the bad things on the app, and he was just crying. He said he will close it down and then and come back and maybe build it again, So that's to tell you that AI can help you build end-to-end stuff now. But what really stands you out in this age and in this era of AI is learning the fundamentals. Now, your ability, why fundamentals are important is anything you want to build, be it in analytics, be it in data science, be it in data engineering, anything you want to build is based on fundamentals. Now, I do tell people, for example, mathematics, what made me become so strong with mathematics, what made me understand mathematics was the moment when I was struggling. I was one very bad student in mathematics while growing up in primary school, but I think when towards my primary four, while I was in primary four, I discovered that all I need to know is to know the basics. So that time I will have to master and cram multiplication table. So 1 times 1, 2 times 1, 3 times 1 multiplication table. And then when I'm given simple algebra, I have to cram, okay, y is 2x plus 5 equals to 7. Y, find x. So I discovered that if I understand the principle behind multiplication table, if I understand the principle behind x plus 1 equals to 5, understanding x plus 1 equals to 5, how that for me to find x is a variable, so I need to move 1 to the right hand side and then say 5 minus 1 and then say x is 4, will help me I can replicate that principle and say, okay, 2x plus 5 then plus 6 equals to 10. The same principle. I know that anything that is a variable, I need to separate it first. I cannot detach a variable. I cannot join a variable with a number. If I understand that principle that 2x plus 5, I cannot add 2x and 5 to say 7x. That is basics. That what I need to do is first say 2x plus 5 equals to 10. I need to separate variables from the numbers, from the figures. So 5, move to the left hand side, and then anytime a number is crossing the equal to sign, the sign has to change. So plus 2 becomes minus 2, and then I say that 2x is equals to 3. And I know that the next thing I need to do to detach a number from a variable, I need to divide. So these are basics. So anywhere, even when you are dealing with, or when I remember this same principle when we were dealing with, I think in 211 I was doing algebra, calculus, deep one. That was the same principle. I know that, okay, so 2x now equals to 3. Before I can get my x, I need to, because x is attached to 2, and every basic principle is that when a number is attached to a variable, you have to divide. You cannot subtract. I see a lot of students dying that they will say, what do I now do now? 2x equals to 5. What do I now do? Okay, will I now say x equals to 5 minus 2? No. The basic is that you cannot detach x from 2. So every time you need to divide. So understanding that helped me a lot. Why growing? I'm talking about as a primary school. So I know that, okay, I need to divide at that point. So I have to, then another basic will be what's it called now? We'll call it board mass. That's another basic in math. Okay, you know that every time there is a bracket and a subtraction, you have to do bracket first because you use subtraction. Understanding that basics is very vital. So my mathematics was very strong. Why am I so vast? Even in 100 level, I could remember in 100 level, you can go check in Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. I was the best. I had the best score in mathematics and physics across all courses. I'm talking about STEM, engineering people. I studied biochemistry, engineering people, physics, everybody. I still had the highest score. And what was guiding was understanding the basics that I understand. So I move faster. When someone is still trying to understand, this calculus, how is the YDS, then this one, how were they able to get to this point? How did we get to this point? I understood already because the basics does not change. That's the good thing about the basics. So if you understand board mass, you understand the basics of algebra, you won't suffer with completing the scale. You won't solve a quadratic equation because you know that 2x plus 5 plus 1 equals to 3. You cannot just say, if they say find x, you cannot just add 2x squared plus x. No, it's not possible. They are not of the same variant, right? 2x squared. X squared is a variable joined to figure. X is another variable. X is different from x squared. So immediately you are done with, you understand that you won't go and say 2x plus x is 3x squared. So I've seen a lot of students, even while I was teaching people during JAM, I've seen a lot of students just add everything together. Then they get confused. So if you're able to break complex stuffs into basics to help you. So, and that is why am I saying all this? Because I'm saying this because I'm discussing a topic around fundamental. In 2025, I don't think anybody should struggle with becoming a senior data analyst, senior data engineer. I don't think, if you understand the basics. So, for example, you're a data analyst. The first thing you should understand, what is the basis of analysis? Okay, the 7 steps. The first thing is I gather the data. When I gather the data, I ensure that data is clean, cleaning principles, how to transform and everything. When you understand, when a business problem comes, you know that what you need to do first is, I need to understand the data. What is this data? The feeds. The feeds. Let me cite an example. My guys and we were joining an hackathon very, very recently, and then we're doing a demo. I'm not really versed with GCP, although I use it sometimes, but I'm not really versed with GCP. But when I started, I said no problem. They said let's look for a GCP. GCP is Google Cloud Platform. Someone was saying let's look for a Google Cloud Platform expert so that it can guide us. I said we don't need it. The basics of cloud solutions. They are the same thing, almost the same thing. It's just the tool, right? All I know that the data cloud composer is the alternative to Airflow. I know that data flow is like my orchestrator. I know that cloud storage bucket is named an S3 bucket, is named a blob, or blob, understanding this basic principle, and we're able to just trash it. And when we are done, and I was like, wow, I've been using this tool for a long time. I said, no, not too long. And that applies. So when I'm approaching someone, I'm approaching from the principle from the basics. If immediately I get the basics of what your problem is, then I can always scale it up. So in 2025 and beyond, if you want to be serious with your career as a data professional, data engineer, analytics, understand the basics. Understand the basics. All you need to do when you understand you're a data engineer, you should understand orchestration, or understand, version control, understand principle behind Spark, which is distributed computing, and all those basics. When you understand it, you can pick. Today you can version control. For example, you can say, okay, I'm using Git. There are other products. You can today for orchestration, you can say I'm using Airflow. In SQL Server for Microsoft, you can also use SSIS. They are still the same. Even Power Query in Excel is still orchestration. The same thing what your SSIS is doing is what Power Query is doing. But understanding the principle, it what matters. You can always go to ChatGPT and say, okay, please help me with this code. But if you don't understand the basics, you are just going to be just like the guy just shared his story. You're just going to be dishing out something not too useful to the people. So please drop your questions in the comment if you have questions. Right, we'll attend to them. All right. I hope this has helped you. So I just want to charge us this morning. Please prioritize basics. In 2025, you don't need to spend time writing codes. Use your ChatGPT, use your Gemini. Please help me with this code. You are just to vet based on your understanding of the base. But if you don't understand those basics very well, you just be dishing out the wrong code, and then you understand. For example, now what that guy did, he built an end-to-end app, all right, and it's working, but he does not understand the principle behind security. Understand the principle behind all this security and everything just got breached. So when you understand end-to-end of basics, you can go to any AI tool and just type in, and then it gives you the prompt. Then you just edit. Oh, this is it. This query is not optimized. If you understand data structure and algorithm, which are the basics. So if you're a programmer, you don't understand data structure and algorithm, you cannot work with the big four, because every 1 second counts. You run a query for 2 minutes, another person run it for 1 minute 90 55 or 57 seconds. That one will be picked. So understanding the data structure and algorithm helps to know that, oh, this query that AI is giving me is not well is not well optimized. It's not optimized. Okay, let me based on your understanding of basic. Please give me maybe Bayes theorem, or give me use stack or use queue to answer this. So but if you don't understand, you just pick the same query, you run it, and then you think it's working. But query that should run for 2 minutes is running for 10 minutes. So understanding the basics. So the code shouldn't take your time. And what I think it has even been happening, what I think people will pay you for, companies will pay you for now, is your understanding of the basics. That they want to do a system design, you understand the basis of system design. Because anybody can come. You see, this guy was not a coder that I was talking about. He was not a coder. Just came here and then wrote those codes and then deployed the app, and everything is working. AI end to end. But look at it. Everything just flopped at the end because of the basis. So that's what I'm sharing to us today. Please ensure any field. Don't just go and say, hey, you said you are doing part. If you go to LinkedIn now, you see a lot of dashboards here and there. But the principle behind dashboard, most people don't even understand. So if you are picking any field, please, this age is not for you to go and be mastering Power BI, go and be mastering DAX. Yes, it's good if you have that, maybe, yeah, but mastering DAX, mastering SQL, mastering all those ones is not the real thing now. The future is learning the fundamentals and learning it very well. I hope you've gained something today. All right, I hope to see you next week, Friday, again for another session with Michael. All right, stay sharp, stay learning. I'll see you on the other side. Bye.